If you don't know the role that you play in your friend group, you're probably not going to be all that useful to your friends. The reality is, each of us have something to fill. We are a cog in a machine. The machine being your friend group, potentially your family. Now, what is the purpose of this machine? What is the goal of this machine? That is usually for the leader of the friend group to decide, and the people to agree with them or disagree with them. Now, it's not to say that each person shouldn't have a say, but it is to say, and if you have friend groups or have multiple friend groups, you know there are some people that come up with plans and there's others that occupy the space. Both necessary. So, if you don't know where you stand, then your effectiveness in that situation is going to be dwindled. And you'll probably just be someone that can be switched on and off in a friend group based on whether or not you're available or whether or not people give a shit about you. So how do you determine your role? Well, take a look at how you're treated. If the things that you say are reciprocated, you have respect on your decisions, then you know that you're probably along the leadership path. If you are someone that ends up following a lot more, but you notice that when you're not there, they say that you are missed, you are probably the glue component of the friend group or social group that you're in. If you always come up with plans and get shot down, you're probably the planner. Now, what other roles can I think of? A quote comes to mind: the seeker, the mediator is the wings of the seeker. So that says maybe there's two other roles. There's the mediator and the seeker. So the glue to me is a lot like the mediator, right? So someone that can come and hang out, and there's a bunch of different philosophies going on, and sometimes things can get a little hectic and a little pointy, right? And the mediator is kind of there to be like, hey, things are all right. I agree with both of you. Then there's the seeker, which in my opinion is usually the leader, or at least close to them. The seeker, their job is to find opportunities for the entire group and themselves. Usually it comes down to, I think, a personal pursuit of self-improvement, or maybe it's an ego thing, but they're looking for something. And they know that it's out there in the world, but they need help. If they're smart enough, they need help finding it. And that's what their friends are for. So mediator, seeker, leader, glue, also mediator. And then there's the superfluous. The ones that are generally interchangeable. Where does their role? Their role, I assume based on my assessments, is actually to give new ideas. Put some logs in the fire, right? So if you come across different people, if you invite different people into the people that you're hanging out with, then you know that probably all the personalities that you're aware of, the ones that you consistently hang out with, are going to interact with that person differently based on their personality, their interests. So the superfluous, aka the people that are kind of interchangeable, that keep on coming in and out, their job is to present new ideas that the friend group's not used to. So potentially new things to do, new philosophies on how to look at people or things, maybe just new stimulus in general, maybe a cool TikTok or a cool Instagram, or potentially they might bring their friends, right, that don't usually hang out with the friend group. And then you have a lot more to think about, a lot more to talk about. I've had a love for a long time of making groups and actually getting people in groups together, from different groups together. And my goal with that is always to give people new opportunities, but also in a selfish way, I want to see what the fuck their interaction's like, right? I find two of the most interesting people in completely different scenarios, and I put them together in the same room, and I get to watch. To me, that's incredibly entertaining. I love that. I love people. I love people's philosophies and how they affect each other. I genuinely believe boy meets world, people change people. So if I have the opportunity of introducing someone that I love, someone that I really respect, to another person that I love and really respect from a completely different friend group, completely different world, oh man, I'm on cloud 9. I did my job as far as I'm concerned, my purpose in life. To bring people together, to bring people new ideas. So okay, I gave you a little layout of what I think at least a friend group contains. Now if you think that there are some other rules, throw them in the chat. I'd be curious. And I'm sure I'm missing something. But okay, you get to a point where you know your impact, you know how much you're valued, and you generally know where you stand. Now why is that powerful? On the short term, if you have a friend group that you hang out with, it's not going to make too much of a difference to you, right? They're kind of just there to occupy your time, to hold space. Hopefully you have the emotional maturity to realize that you can develop love for someone and learn from them in a short period of time. That's just a reality. It depends on how you click. But in the long-term end, say you have friends for a long ass time. Say you're in a town for years and years. Now you have an obligation, or you have a choice to make too. How much are you going to invest in your friendship so that they can eventually get back to you? I understand that sounds a little bit selfish, but the reality is if you don't look at things that way, no one in your friend group or yourself is really evolving as a person, emotionally or just factually, right? Things that you know about the world. So the benefit of knowing where you stand means you can specialize. In economics, comparative advantage. Right? You know when a certain country can outproduce another country in a certain way. Alright, fine. If you're smart enough, you utilize that difference, that discrepancy, so that you can do efficient things to the best of your ability and dedicate roles. Delegate roles, apologies. Role delegation makes everything more effective. And this kind of crosses over in terms of creating businesses and maintaining your relationships. The mentality that I'm getting into recently has been a lot of business. And business comes down to having the right people around, the right people that can produce the things that you need from them. Your friends are the same way. They have to be. Because frankly, you're gonna run out of time. You're gonna have a family, you're gonna have work to do, and potentially some passion on the side. And you have to decide in your head, are these people really adding to my life? And if they're not adding to my life, am I doing the right thing to allow them to add to my life? And if I am doing the right thing to allow them to add to my life, then should I just have different friends? Knowing your place in a friend group is a microcosm, but it's also a reflection of your place in society. The reality is, the people that you're closest to, there's a reason. You have certain relationships with them. And in my personal experience, the relationships that I've had in my friend groups have been magnified or sometimes zoomed out on a more macroscopic scale on my role in society. So in my friend group, I believe myself to be the leader, the seeker. I like doing that stuff. I'm a creative guy. I like going out doing weird shit and being like, hey, come check this out. This might be interesting to you guys. You guys might benefit from this. But I know I need all the other components. But I've been doing that for a while. I've been doing that since middle school, man. Maybe even elementary school. I used to make games in elementary school where we could go play some stuff in the schoolyard and come up with a story that evolves and all of this, and it's been a lot of fun. But now I realize that my role in society is mimicked by that. My passion for doing that stuff is capitalized when I know that that's something that I'm good at doing. Food for thought. So I also talk about your role in society in this video right here, right? We all have a role to play. We should know our strengths and weaknesses, and we do matter as people. So come check this out. I'll see you over there. And remember, actualize your potential.